Yeah, no, sorry, gents. Scarves are obligatory. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. You have to put it on. You have to put it on until you get too warm. Kenny, come on. Well, I know you're not a fully fledged Shells man, but you're a Talca Park man. You grew up in the area. Brian as well. Right. Well, the two gentlemen are getting ready. Listen, before I even talk to the more iconic former players and managers and whatnot, I think the story of the day is all about Pearl Slattery. I think the story. I think the story of the day is all about Shells beating Bows 1-0. We are across a cross-political campaign and we've no affiliation with any particular club, and we wish Dalymount Park all the best. But Pearl knocking in a winner as well. I suppose we couldn't have scripted that any better.
I know, it's a bit mad. I don't score many, so look, the most important thing for us today was, your first game of the season, you just want to win it. Doesn't matter who scores or how we score, just win the game, get the 3 points. And look, great crowd at Talca again today. Like, crowds are building and building, so it's brilliant to have a crowd at Talca. So it's great to have that support. And look, a clean sheet, 3 points, and to beat Bows, perfect Saturday.
Absolutely. Yeah. I wasn't looking for any cliched answers there, but it's a bit nice when you get one over the neighbours, isn't it?
Lovely, yeah, really nice. Really nice.
But no, listen, I want to touch on Talca Park and obviously the crowd that was there, and the women's game in general is going from strength to strength as well, and it's great that, listen, this isn't a night to get too political, it's a bit of a celebratory night, but it is great to have the facilities there and that you're able to play there and you're able to go into, say, potential Champions League campaign. You're looking at league winners obviously last year, so you're starting as you mean to go on, and you have the facilities available to you.
Yeah, look, it's a special place. You've seen it last year when we won the league title there. It was amazing, but I think just in general, look, I know we've all spoken about saving Talca Park. It's important now where the women's game is going and developing around that we are treated the same, the respect is there, that when it comes to grounds that we're right up in there and everybody's taught when it comes to that. And you look at the Dalymount thing, it probably wasn't going to be possible for 4 teams, so look, I think it's looking positive for us, which is brilliant. It's brilliant for the club, the men and the women. So look, it's a great place. It'd have been honestly awful to see it go, so I'm hoping now that over the next few months we get good news and we keep it going. And look, it's not really just for us either that's playing ourselves at the moment, it's actually for the next generation of young girls around the country and at the club, that they could see we fought for facilities and we should be treated the same really, and that's all you want.
Absolutely, here. Couldn't say better. Brian Kerr, Talca Park has, I was going to say it's changed a lot, but I don't think it has changed that much since you might have been there. But it's a stadium steeped in history, and it has many quirks and it has a couple of negatives. We won't lie, it might need a lick of paint here and there and a couple of seats, but however, it is one of the most famous stadiums in Ireland, and you have a long-standing connection with it.
Well, I've absolutely no hesitation, as you know, in supporting this project. I suppose there is. I hope you're along the way now. But the reasons why I feel so strongly about saving Talca Park is that, I was around when there was 4 fairly iconic grounds in Dublin, and I saw the first one going in Milltown. I have to say at the time I wasn't grievously unhappy because I was the manager of Pats, who were regularly getting...
We won't hold it against you.
Hold on. Well, as you know, I also had me spells at Shells, but I was at Pats and Rovers were the kings at the time, and the 4 in a row and all that. And if there was one way that we might beat them, might be if they weren't in Milltown. And they actually moved to Talca Park, and one of my earliest matches was Pats. We beat them in an early game in the season 4-2 in Talca, and they had a great side. So I saw that ground going. I drive by it sometimes. I worked in UCD for a good few years. I used to drive by it nearly every day on my way home, and I used to go, that looks mad with houses on it, because I went there as a kid watching matches, watching whoever was playing. Often it would be Rovers and Bows or whoever was playing. Pats occasionally. I always found it a tricky one to get to from Drimnagh. I got lost a couple of times, believe it or not. But I still get lost going to grounds. But anyway, don't always tell people. But I did. And, there was a bit of a campaign, and I believe, I know where it was from. It was in the FAI, going back not too long ago, about 15 years ago, to get Pats out of Inchicore and to go to Sheridan Tala. And I said at the time, over my dead body that was going to happen. I was a bit like, I don't want to be dismissive of what's going on at the moment in Ukraine because it's not an eye for that. But I felt very strongly about it. It was one of the reasons I went back into Pats for a year to ensure that that didn't happen. Because if Inchicore went, wherever the development of that ground takes, wherever way it goes in the future, so be it. But it has to be near there. And that was kept. And I want to see Talca Park kept. My lifetime in football is around going to matches around those Dublin stadiums. Equally, I went to Gaelic, I went to the boxing and so on. But I've loved Talca Park from the earliest times when I went in the 60s, watching matches when drums were playing there, the now defunct drums. I can remember matches in Talca Park, it might even win this hard to believe, where matches were won on corner kicks. Do you believe that? I honestly remember matches when the corner kicks were counted up. Can you imagine that? Fellas playing for corner kicks? Like that one technically. Don't do that on the FAI Pro licence.
There's enough betting scandals in League of Ireland, Brian. We don't need to get into corner kicks.
So anyway, but going back to that time, and then obviously going and watching matches over the years at various battles and whatever club I was working with, I played there for junior teams in the Man O'Leary Cup final, and I played there for Shells actually as well, the Youth Cup final against Drogheda. I wasn't great. We drew and got beaten in the replay up in Drogheda. But then I was fortunate enough to manage various Shells teams and B teams, and was around the first team for a while. And I was there with Home Farm with Mick Lawler as assistant manager when Home Farm were playing in the early 80s. So I've had a lot of career time there. Great days watching great teams and great nights with my own teams, with the underage teams. The night that Tui's team beat England 1-0 and there was 10,000, they couldn't get a ticket for it. Extraordinary night. I'll tell you a quick funny story. So I'm the kit man cum physio. You can just imagine how good I was at that. But I was a bit of everything. Noel O'Reilly was the assistant manager, and we had a pre-match meal in the North Star Hotel, and Tui says to me, will you bring some of the players up to that's how organised it was, bring some of the players up to Talca for the Youth International against England, Tony Adams et al. But anyway, so I have about 5 in the car. I think I had the 2 Dolans and Eamon Collins and Martin Russell and a couple of other fellas. Maybe Richie Bailey. Anyway, halfway along Dorset Street, I can feel the car, the old banger of an Avenger I had, chugging. And it's just as I'm going across Binns Bridge, I said, I'm in fucking trouble here. And I'd run out of petrol, right? Now, I have all the gear for the match. I have the warm tracksuits, I have the 1 to 16 it was at that time, all perfectly in order in the boot of my car, right? No petrol. And the lads said, what we do now? I said, well, if I'm not back in 5 or 10 minutes, you hitch a lift or you get a taxi, right? So I ran back over the bridge. I knew there was a motorbike shop at the corner. It's still there. Your man was pulling down the shutter. I said, Jesus, don't do that. I said, what? So emergency. Now I had the old green tracksuit one, hence the nickname I had, the greener, for a while. But anyway, so
Still have it to be fair.
Yeah, man. So I said, look, have you a bit of petrol in that can? He says, I have. So I give it to us quick. I said, I've half the team for the match. Now the traffic is building up already on Dorset Street going to the match. And I have half the team in the car, the gear, and I've now, and in my head, I'm having nightmare. I'm going to have to run from here with the gear to Talca. So anyway, your man gives me a bit of petrol. I lash up to the car. Stay still, lads, as they're fine. Power in the petrol. Give it an old boot. Give it another boot. And away went zoom up. Tommy McDermott, header at the far post. Tommy was about 5'2", going on 6 foot. And we won 1-0, right? And embarrassed them. And remember, the lads went back. Pat Olin was with Arsenal at the time, and he told Pat Rice that story. The assistant manager of Arsenal from Northern Ireland, Pat Rice, said, well, that's how you probably won the match, because you had this a special spirit, and we had, and that was Tui. But that was one of the great days, and lots of other ones other than that. Not to bore anyone too more with that particular story, but I had a lot of great nights there. I remember lots of great battles with Shells and Pats, lots of brilliant matches, and thank God last week, or 2 weeks ago, the first match of the season was not the result, but it was a bit more like everyone had grown up a bit from 15 years ago, and there was more respect, and I don't have, I want Talca Park to be saved. Whatever happens, I want to see it saved. I want to see Shells buoyant. I want to see them you know, back to where they were in some of the great days they've had in the past. Delighted.
Yeah, Kenny, I'm already looking at you. She will get you in a moment.